So you know the one in one out scheme, which has only been about a few weeks, not very long. It's this government's new scheme, and they had made a big show of it. They've had it on their social medias. Do one of these fancy videos, which may I say cost a fortune. About 10 grand for a small short video. God knows how much this stuff costs. To show off that one in one out. One comes across, we send one back. There's like 50 odd thousand come in. We've sent about 40 back. Well, one of the 40 that's been sent back has just returned via a small boat again. He's come in. He says he's the victim of slavery. But how can he be the victim of slavery when they're not sending him here to work because they can't work when they come in? They can only claim asylum and get freebies. And this is an industry, trafficking people across, that's actually created millionaires. There are people, chances, who started this, start charging exorbitant fees, fleecing people for crossing the channel, and they've become millionaires out of doing this as a business. And then what happens to all the dinghies that get abandoned in Great Britain? We've seen some being cut, we've seen some being put on forward cargoes, being taken back across. Are they being taken back across to be used again? Is it recycling for illegal traffickers? I mean, it's farcical what's going on. And to top it all off, the debate yesterday, I've put a short up that I did with Zia Youssef on GB News and Barry Gardner, that lefty that's got a right calm voice. It's a bit annoying, actually, I find. But Zia was talking about illegal immigration. Barry Gardner actually said there was no such thing as illegal immigration. And then he went on to read from a government document. He read in that nice, calm Barry Gardner voice that, look, I'm calm, I'm rational, I'm left-wing, I must be right. And he read this out, and he said it was a fact that migrants who come to this country actually create wealth, and they contribute about £380,000 in their lifetime as a migrant in this country. And it's a fact, dear, it's a fact. He kept saying that. But the thing is, when you actually read the document and you look at the wording on the document, because some sharpie on the thread said, actually, you're wrong, Barry, that's not right. It's assumed that he makes that kind of money. Assumed. Well, an assumption is guesswork, isn't it? I assume it's going to be raining tomorrow, but I don't know for sure because I'm only assuming it. So it's assumed. The wording in the actual document, he's claiming it's a fact. It's not. They're assuming this man's going to earn this money in his lifetime. Bearing in mind, that doesn't make any allowances for how many wives he'll have, because they have multiple wives sometimes, how many children he'll have, which are dependents. The wives generally don't work. So how can we assume this positive impact when the amount of time and money we're spending on illegal migrant accommodation is working out at about, I think it's between £8 and £9 million a day. Don't forget, this is why I always remind people of things that have gone on in the past. The Tories brought this in. The Tories gave out the Serco contracts. The Tories didn't stop the boats. The Tories did it all. And don't forget, we're paying £5,000 per day for empty bedrooms, so that in case there's an influx of even more migrants coming in and we can't cope. So we're actually paying some hoteliers to stay empty so that we can put some in. And we're in autumn now, we're coming up to winter, and there'll be people homeless sleeping on the streets. Our veterans are sleeping on the streets sometimes. The homeless shelters are full. There's enough problems in this country without making it so attractive. You've got to remember, if you're sitting somewhere in a country where you're not having a very good time and you're watching something on a phone from a mate who's in England and he's showing you the restaurant in the Copthorne Hotel at Gatwick where you've got 3 meals a day, buffet style, multiple choice, so there's pasta, there's curries, there's all sorts. And you can sit down, you can even have 10 eggs if you want for breakfast, because one bloke did. I watched the video. And there he sat down and he put 10 boiled eggs on his plate. And the guy that was doing the film and a member of staff said, are you going to eat all those eggs? He said, no, but I knew I could have them. And we've got pensioners last winter who were only having a hot meal every third day so that they didn't need to use the grill or the cooker. You know, I could understand it if we were just all so well off in this country, but we're not. There's people who are sitting here knowing that they can't afford to pay the bills this winter. And we know that no matter what the international gas price is, whether it comes down or it doesn't, our prices are not going down, they're going up. And meantime, we're buying gas from Norway under their stretch of the seabed that basically neighbours our stretch of the seabed where we leave our gas in the seabed. That's how balmy this country is. Because it all correlates, it's all cost, isn't it? Because all these bad decisions about what it costs to house migrants and energy price, it's all wrapped up into one, because there's only one place where a government can get any money from, and that's you and me. We're the ones stumping up for this, so we've every right to complain. And unfortunately, Parliament have forgotten that they're working as public servants for us, to represent us, not to tell us what to do, to make sure that what we want gets done. And that hasn't happened for some time. So the one thing out of all these videos I want you to hang on to is, please don't think you can trust the Tories just because a couple of characters like Badenoch and Robert Jenrick, it's only 5'5". Hi-ho! Must be a thing. These people, whatever they're saying now, they were in a party that handed power away. They knew that what they handed it to was going to be worse. It's that simple. So that's why I want to. You can say, oh, best things. I share the videos sometimes. I tweet what they're saying because it reminds people. But I'd never vote for them and I'd never trust them because they've had their chance. 14 years is long enough. And all they've done is set it all up for Keir Starmer. He doesn't have to fannying around. You know, if Nigel Farage wins, as everybody assumes he will when he gets in, he'll have a shed load of legislation to repeal. Keir Starmer hasn't had anything to repeal. It's all been set up for him. Tories did all of it. All of it. Everything you don't like about this country, the Tories put there. Do you know that? So remember that when you're talking to other people, because they'll concentrate on Keir Starmer because he's the one, he's the mush now, he's the face, isn't he, in the pillory line. He's the one you want to throw your tomatoes at. But really, it's all been set up by the Tories, and people need reminding of this constantly. So keep up the good work, because word of mouth is travelling fast. My following is going up with new people who have never been involved with politics before, and that is a good thing, because that is strength. There's strength in numbers, and we are pushing back big time.